WJZ News at noon.
Live Doppler radar is active today. Baltimore and the surrounding area are now under a tornado watch as the remnants of Ida arrive in our region. We know at least one person has died from flooding in Montgomery County. Several Maryland school districts are letting students out early as a precaution. The worst of the weather has not yet arrived. We have live team coverage this afternoon. WJZ investigator Mike Halgren with more on the flooding we've already seen and the preparations underway in flood-prone areas. Marty Bass has an update on the soaking rain, and we start with meteorologist Meg McNamara and the severe weather we're tracking, including that tornado watch. Meg?
Yes, Lynn. So we're under this tornado watch through 7 o'clock tonight. All the areas of yellow, we are included in this. So we've been talking about the severe threat. The atmosphere right now, unfortunately, it is prime for the potential of damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour and some tornadoes. So this is the threat we're tracking through the afternoon into the evening. You can see how active we are on radar right now. We did have a couple of tornado warnings south of us, none for Maryland so far, but that is what we're expecting as we move into the afternoon. Of course, in addition to the severe threat, there is the potential for flooding. I want to send it over to Marty Bass with a look at the heavy rain. Hi, Marty.
Well, thank you very much, Meg, and good afternoon, everyone. We've already had a couple of inches of rain at BWI, Marshall, Westminster, a little over, almost 1.75 inches. Frederick, 1.5 inches. Hagerstown, a little over 1 inch. And these are numbers as of noon. We still have an afternoon, evening, and midnight time of rain to get through. So you can see the ground is absolutely soaked, and that water's got to come somewhere. Flash flood watch in effect through tomorrow morning. And once we get into the later hours, even if skies try and clear during the overnight, the ground's going to percolate. So we don't, even when the rain ends, lose the potential for flooding concerns. This is something we'll be watching as we move through the afternoon. More coming up in our main weather segment. Now let me throw it back to you.
Marty, thank you. The Maryland Emergency Management Agency has elevated its alert level to allow for more resources in case of major damage. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, we've learned flooding in Montgomery County has already turned deadly. WJZ investigator Mike Halgren has it covered live from Fells Point this noon. Mike, this area is prone to flooding.
It certainly is, and the mayor is urging that people should be prepared. And you can see right next to me, there is a mound of sand. People have been filling up sandbags from around the city just in case. We know that rain is coming later today. The first round of heavy rains made their way through the Baltimore area this morning, with much more to come. On 295 near Cherry Hill, standing water blocked several lanes. In Fells Point, the city was handing out sandbags and advising people to move their cars to higher ground. This area could flood from the remnants of Ida.
We're a little bit worried too because we're on the ground floor of our apartment building, and so we only have like one door that is, I feel like low enough where we could get water in. The rest are just like high windows.
Around the state, preparations were underway for high water. There's also a tornado risk.
I hope it's not needed, but if it is, I'm glad they're here.
And in Rockville, several apartment buildings flooded this morning. Crews rescued families from that flooding that trapped several people and sent families scrambling for safety.
They were able to evacuate about 10 people from their windows. Right now we have about 150 people that are displaced. We do have one male who is deceased. It is a 19-year-old male. And we have one person that is unaccounted for.
A tragedy there on Twinbrook Parkway in Rockville. And again, you see behind me here in Fells Point, they are loading up those sandbags, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. Also in Ellicott City, parking restrictions on Main Street and the State Fair is closed for today. It'll reopen tomorrow. Reporting live in Fells Point, Mike Halgren, WJZ.
Anytime there is severe weather, be sure to stay with WJZ. With the most experienced weather team in town, we'll bring you the latest up-to-date information you need. Just download the WJZ weather app or watch CBSN Baltimore anytime.
And as the last of Ida makes its way to us today, we're just beginning to see how the storm devastated Louisiana and Mississippi. Hundreds of thousands of people are still without power. They're scrambling for food, gas, water, and relief from the dangerous heat. Electric company Entergy says it's restored power to part of eastern New Orleans, but reconnecting the entire city will still take time. It's not clear how long people will remain in the dark, but it could be at least a month. And the Ravens are helping those hit hardest by Ida. The team partnered with the Stephen and Renee Bisciotti Foundation to announce a $1 million donation to relief efforts in Louisiana. The money will help the Greater New Orleans Foundation, the United Way, and the American Red Cross.